Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for November 17th, 2025. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, we'll start with this 5 and 7. Horizontally, these 5s look in, putting a 5 in one of these two. Vertically, the 5s look down, putting a 5 in one of these two. Now, I did also scan it here, but here I actually found something. So the fact that we corner marked the 5s here and did not corner mark a 5 here led me to think, well, where does the 5 go in this row? Because we know it's not in this box. We also have 3 givens here. And then this 5 happens to look down, restricting the 5 in this row to these two cells. And so 5 is in one of these two cells. That does what's called claiming. So in this row, we need a 5. It's going to be here or here. So what we say is that row 7 claims the 5 from box 8. Meaning that the rest of box 8 can't have a 5 because this row has claimed it. If we put a 5 anywhere else, we would not have anywhere to put a 5 in this row. So that's the result there. So I don't know if there's any immediate follow-up on these not being 5, but the corner mark's intending to remind us of that. I will note that these two 5s look down, putting a 5 in one of these two. Oops, not in both, just a corner mark. All right, so that was 5. Now the 7 does look down here. This is filled, so 7's in one of these two. That's going to point down along with this 7, putting a 7 in one of these two. We aren't as lucky with 7 because this can be a 7. And for all we know, it is. All right, so what we learned is these aren't 7, for what it's worth. Okay, we're learning a lot about this bottom band here. Horizontally, I don't see anything to do with 7. This filled box column, is there anything else looking in? Yeah, so we're ignoring anything that's 1, 3, 4, 5, or 7 since we already did 7. But the 2 and 8 still qualify. So the 2 looks in, putting a 2 in one of these two. And actually, what we've done here is we've overlapped the 2 and the 7 corner marks. What this is telling us is that within this box, one of these two cells must be a 2, and the other must be a 7. And that leaves no room for any other digits to be in these two cells. So what are those other digits? Well, they are the, not the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a 6, 8, 9. Top one's not a 6. So now we have this pair and this triple eliminating from the rest of the columns. So this column is down to 4 digits because we know the 6, 8, 9 are here. So we need a 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. Well, these aren't 5, so these are 1, 3, 4. That one's not a 1. I think these can be any of 1, 3, 4, 5. I don't see any restrictions. So we won't mark that. All right, now this 2, 7 pair leaves 4 digits behind here. We need a 1, 3, 6, 9. We know these aren't 9, and the top one's not 6 either. So actually, this sees 1, 6, and 9. So this can only be a 3. And then we're left with 1, 6, 9 here. Oops, 1, 6, 9 here. And this can't be a 9, and this can't be a 9. And so the 9 has to go here in the column. All right, we can follow up on that 9, putting a 9 here, because we have this 9 looking up as well. So all these 9s looked in. We can follow up on these 9s by putting a 9 in one of these 3. Anything else we know about 9s? We have these 2 9s. I don't think so. All right, what else can I do here? So I got this 9, I got this 1, 6 pair. 5, 7, 8. So we know that the 8 is in one of these two up here. And the 2 is in one of these two. I have a 3 already. 4? No. All right, that may be all we get in that stack there for now. Let's continue looking at this band. So we got the 9. So let's look at 2, 3, and 8. I'm not seeing anything with 2 that we can do. Oh, okay. Actually, this 2 looks in, this 2 looks up. That's actually quite handy. This is going to place a 2 and an 8. So we know in this box that 2 is in one of these two. And so that's going to point left, telling us the 2 can't be here. Because if 2 is over here, it's not also here in the same row. So if that's not a 2, there's now only one place for 2 in the box. And now that there's a 2 here, there's only one place for 8 in the box. That leaves a triple behind in this vertical column. We need a 4, 6, 7. That's not the 7. I think these can be any of 4, 6, 7. Okay. This row is down to 3 digits. I wonder when that happened. Anyway, we need a 5, 7, 8. So we know this one isn't 5, so it's 7, 8. This isn't 8, so it's 5, 7. This is any of them. All right, coming back up here, I got the 2 and the 8. So the 2s look in. We already got that. The 8s look in. Placing the 8 in this box. Rest of this row. Oh, sorry. That comes down placing the 7, 5, and 8 here. This is going very smoothly so far. Let's actually look at this 8 here. Did the 5 do anything? We already know the 5's here. We actually have 2 5s looking in here. This 5 looks up. So 5's one of these two. Coming back here, this row is what I wanted to look at. We need a 1, 4, 6. This isn't the 6. This row is down to 4 digits. We need a 3, 4, 5. No, not 5. 3, 4, 6, 7. So this is 4, 7 only. Sees the 3 and sees the 5. No, not the 5. Sorry. It sees the 6. It was 3, 4, 6, 7. This seat can't be 4 or 6. So this is 3, 7. This is any of them. Can't do anything with any of that, as far as I can tell. This is a filled box row. We got the 2, 8, 5, 9. Yeah, that's it. I have an interesting piece of logic for you here that I'm not going to use because it's a little bit advanced. And so I like to point out advanced things, but then show you that you didn't need to actually know that kind of thing. But this is really fun. So, and there may be something we can see with this a little bit more clearly. But let me show you what I saw first, and we'll see if there's anything we can do about it. Actually, there is something we can do, but anyway, sorry. Let me show you what I'm looking at here first before I go, continue. So I'm going to, this cell here is going to be a 4 or a 6. We don't know which one it is. It's going to be a 4 or a 6. Again, we don't know which. But what we do know is it's one of those two in the solution. If we were to look at the solution, like if you were to go to the end of the video or whatever, you would see that this cell was a 4 or a 6. We're going to call that green. If the solution says that that's a 4, then green is 4. If the solution says that that's a 6, then green is 6. That's what we're kind of basing off of. Now we know that every single row, column, and box has exactly one green in it. Because if it's a 4, then it's going to have exactly one 4. If it's a 6, it's going to have exactly one 6. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Where does green go in box 3 here? So first thing we need to check is, are any of the givens 4 or 6? No, they're not. So 4 or 6 can't go in any of these cells. This is marked with a 3, 7. It sees the 4 and the 6. And so it can't be a 4 or a 6. And then we can't repeat green in the row. That's the whole point, is that there's only one green in the row. We already have one, so we can't have another. So there's actually only one cell in this whole box that can be green, so it is. And so what we could do is we could actually mark this green and mark it as 4, 6 only. When you see something like that within the same band, where it's just a single cell that gets translated somewhere else, the thing you want to actually think about is, okay, what's the more basic thing that's happening here? And so I looked at this a little bit more closely, and we can see in this row here that the 4 actually claims. So I don't know if that's a direct correlation, but I definitely found something simpler we can do. So in this row, the 4 is here or here. And so that means we can't also put a 4 here or up here. None of these can be 4 because the 4 is here. That's claiming. Row 2 claims the 4 from box 2. So if that's not a 4, the only option is for it to be a 7. And by the way, now that we know this is 7, sorry, not 7, sorry. That makes this a 3 and that makes this a 4. So I guess the thing that, the other thing we could have seen that's actually much, much easier is that this row needs a 6, and this can't be 6 because of the 6, 8, 9 triple. This can't be 6 because of this, and this can't be 6 because of this. So green ends up being 6 for that reason, but I'm also seeing these claiming 4s. So there's a lot of ways forward without seeing that, but by having this in my toolbox and seeing it, it made me take a much closer look at this band, and I may have moved on without seeing that. Anyway, I hope that's clear to you, and I'm going to keep this green so you can see they're going to end up the same digit. But anyway, the claiming 4, I guess 6 in this row goes here if we want to do that. The claiming 4s make this a 7, that's 3, that's 4. No matter what, it kind of resolves the row. Now that that's a 4, this is 6. So you can see that green ended up being 6, and they're in the same, the 6 is here and here. They're both green. All right, so now that's 1, that's 3. That gives us 4 and 6 here. 3 in the corner is celebrating. The 6, this 1 looks down, giving us the 6 here. These can't be 6. And so if this is 4, 7, this is a pair as well, 1, 5. This is a pair, it's also 1, 5. And then this is a triple. We need a 2, 4, 7. And this can't be the 2 or the 7. So this is our 4. We're left with a 2-7 pair. All right, so this top band did very well. We just got a whole lot of digits here and here. I'm going to scan verticals then. I'm going to scan this middle stack instead of doing this band, because these are almost done. So we're going to get a lot of buddies if we just scan this stack here. So the 6s do look down. The 6 looks in, placing this 6. How are we doing on 6s? We should be able to, I think we should be able to finish them. Oh, not quite. We can't. Actually, we can finish them. Yeah. So that's our 6. That's a 6. Now 6s are done. All right. So that was the 6. I'm also going to look at this 4, 5, 6. I guess we don't need 6. 4, 5, 8, 9. So the 4s look in. These two 4s look in as well. That places the 4 here. There's still 2 places for 9. The 5 does not actually have a buddy, but we already have it marked here. The 8 we already have marked, and the 9 we already have marked. All right, this column is down to 3 digits. We need a 1, 2, and 3. Only thing I see is, oh, I see this 1 and 2 here, so this has to be a 3. And then we're left with a 1, 2 pair. Anything else with this? I got the 3, so the 2 3s look down, putting a 3 in one of these two. This box is down to 1, 2, 3, 7. So this can't be 3. So this is 1, 2, 7. This can't be 2. So the 2 looking down puts a 2 in one of these two. That is going to point. That means 2 is in one of these two. So these aren't 2s. These are 1, 3, 7. All right. Is there... Okay, let's just look at this stack next, and then we'll look for low-hanging fruit here. Was there anything here that... Yeah, okay, the 3s we want to do. Let's place that 3. Let's not ignore horizontals. The 6 and the 4. 2, 5. All right. So I do have this one, the 1's looking in, placing the 1. That gives us the 2. Gives us 7 and 2 here. Gives us 1 and 2 here. Gives us the 5 and the 1. This is a 3, 7 pair now. So this is 1, 1, 5, 9. That's not 5. That's not 1. This, oh, down here, this can't be 5 anymore. So that places our 5 and our 2, which places our 7 and 2. 7 is now only here in this box. And this pair is a 8, 9. Actually not resolved. Okay. Oh, but it does make an 8, 9 pair in this row. So that's our 1. That's 5 and 1. That's an, oopsie, that's a 9. That's 8 and 9. That's 8 and 9. Place the 8 here, the 5 here, and the 7 here. Took me a second. That's our 9. This column finishes with a 4. We get the 7 and 4, 3 and 7. This is an 8. This is a 3, and we're done. All right, pretty interesting puzzle. Let me know if you liked the sort of coloring thing I talked about earlier, and then that led me to notice that there was much easier stuff to do in the band, which was kind of cool. But yeah, cool. Let me know how you did, and if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.